Okay, so we're going to address this fertile question, which is what is stored in Facebook's database. And the best way to understand what other companies store in their database is to make our own. So we're going to have a go at making our own kind of contacts database, a bit like Facebook, and it's going to have contact details of lots of different people. So for me, I've started up Access through Start, and then Microsoft Access. You can also search it in here. And then what I've done is I'm greeted with this page, a blank database. So we're going to create a database from scratch now and design our own fields, which is different to the music database because we get to say exactly what data we're going to store. So first of all, let's try and find a place to store this database. And I'm going to store it in my computing folder. And I'm going to call my database Geekbook, which is similar to Facebook, only it's full of geeks who have influenced the world. So we've set what we want to create it as. I'm going to press Create. And then the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a table to store all of that data. And I'll just show you how you create that table and how you store the initial data. Just press OK. Just change where we're saving it. So let me just go to Z drive. My documents. Computing. Geekbook. OK. Create. Alright, excellent. So we've got our table, and the first thing we're going to do is go into Design View. We'll call this table Geeks. And then in here, we're going to start by deleting the ID field. The ID is used to identify each person, but we're going to make our own ID field later. So first of all, these are our field names. Now in programming, you might know these as variables, but we've got first name and last name, and they're both text. When we get on to date of birth, however, or you might call it DOB, date of birth, we'll set this as date and time. We might also want to change the format to, say, a short date, which will make it easy to enter. And then we're going to have an ID, that can be text, expertise. Now in the expertise, I actually want that to be a drop-down menu like we had for the genre in the music database. I'm going to make a Lookup Wizard, and I'm going to select a few areas of expertise. I'm going to type in the values that I want, and in here, the top one's going to be computer science. The next one after that is going to be science. After this is going to be maths, English, languages, music, arts, humanities. Yeah, next. And that's it, finish. And what you'll see now is the table that we've created so far. We'll just save it. So we clicked on View and then we'll save it. You'll see that we have first name, last name, date of birth. It comes up with a little calendar icon, so you can pick their date of birth. ID and expertise is a drop down as we created earlier, so that's quite nice to use. The next thing is we're going to say whether they're living, whether they're still alive, and this is a Boolean field, so it's yes or no. It can only be two things, true or false. We'll have a profile image so that it can be a bit like Facebook with their own profile image, and for this we're going to say it's an attachment. And we'll also have media. So in the media section, this can be a link to a YouTube video about them, and we'll talk about how we use that later on. So if we have a look in our table view, it looks like this. There's no data so far. So let's create a form to enter our data in a user-friendly way. We'll click on the view and go into form view. And then we can start entering the data. I'll stop there.